Police Department, Sergeant Russell speaking.
I opened the novel book's cash register. It was still full. And to top it off, Gerald's coat and wallet are still in the store.
What? Oh, Vasquez! You need your eyes checked. Remind me to assign you to interviews next time. Good work. Whatever happened to Gerald was not premeditated on his end. It's a start.
I went to Novel Books and met Mitchell Hart.
Great. What are your thoughts?
A quaint little store. Certainly doesn't look like a crime scene. As for Mitchell... I feel like there must be more he's not disclosing to us. I don't know, I just wonder if there's more to him than meets the eye.
Let me know if you find any solid context to back this up. But until then, I'm not ready to pass judgment based on a feeling.
I got to chat with Eileen Davies. She was only willing to talk for so long, but I did learn that Terrence attended a field trip to an art gallery the day he went missing. She gave me the address, so I went to check it out, and... oh boy.
Did something happen?
I met the owner, Colin Ellison, and asked him about the field trip. According to him, Terrence was kind of a terror during the tour. Colin was generally spitting venom while he recounted what happened. And to put the cherry on top, he described seeing Terrence on the news later that day as cathartic.
That's concerning. Did you get the impression that Colin could be physically violent when angry? Or is he more bark and no bite?
I don't know. He doesn't come across as the type to get his hands dirty.
Either way, keep an eye on him and see if you can find out more.
Thanks for talking.
Keep us updated.
Hello?
Hi, Mrs. Davies. It's Penelope again. How are you holding up?
As well as can be expected.
I was wondering, did you receive any phone calls from Terrence's school the day of the field trip? Before it was clear that he was missing.
No, but I would have been at work until 5, so it's possible I missed it. Why?
I had a chance to talk to the owner of the art gallery, the one who gave the tour, and... Terrence was pretty ill-behaved and ruined the trip for the class.
Excuse me, I don't appreciate your tone.
I'm sorry, but my tone should be the least of your concerns. Terrence tormenting the owner, Colin Ellison, during his tour seemed to leave a very negative impression. Mr. Ellison was not shy about his thoughts on Terrence.
He was that angry about Terrence.
Between that and the coincidental timing, I think we may have our first suspect.
Well, thank you for letting me know. I can't say it's consoling, but it's something.
Okay, Eileen. Thank you for your time. I'll call you if we find out anything new.
Okay.
You've reached the phone of John Branham. I'm currently occupied by something that has a slight possibility of being important. So please call again later or leave a message, and I will get back to you at the earliest convenience.
Would you mind if I asked you some more questions?
Ask away.
How was Gerald's health? Physical and mental.
I don't know what drug he's on, but that man has energy. I'm jealous, and I'm 25 years younger than him. I do see him eat kale chips with his lunch, though, so maybe not that jealous.
What about his mental health?
Nothing has ever raised any red flags. Although his generation isn't much for talking about those kinds of things. You know, feelings.
What exactly is your relationship to Gerald? Are you close personally or more like business partners?
As close as two heterosexual men can get. During slow hours, we chat about books, current events, politics, conspiracy theories, sports, movies. The list goes on. Oh, and gossip about old man drama. Carl always cheats at chess and thinks no one is onto him. Everyone is onto him.
Do you ever talk about your personal lives?
Not really. So like I said, as close as two heterosexual men can get. I don't have a personal life to share anyway. But Gerald, he has an entire lifetime behind him. I'll admit I've always been curious about his past.
Does Gerald have any family? There was a picture of his granddaughters in his wallet.
Really? I always wondered if he had kids out there somewhere.
He never mentioned his family to you? That seems odd.
Maybe to us, but Gerald's naturally a very private person. Not in an intentional hiding information kind of way. He just steers away from topics like that. Why? I don't know, but I respect his privacy.
I wish there was a way we could let his family know what's going on.
The number of cooks in the United States is probably enough to fill 3 phone books alone, not to mention married names.
Did the police check Gerald's home address?
He lives directly upstairs. I took them to the door, but that was the best I could do. They knocked a few times, got ladders, and looked through the windows from the outside. They had a pretty good view of the main apartment and the bathroom. From what they could see, there was no sign of him.
Can they get a warrant if they think there's a chance a person inside might need help?
No idea. But a busted door without appropriate justification sounds like a nasty lawsuit waiting to happen.
Thanks for talking.
Never a problem.
I know it's early, but I could really go for some sleep. I'll get back to work tomorrow. Hello?
Hi, Penelope. Sergeant Russell here. Thought I'd check in so we could regroup.
Alrighty.
It's looking less and less likely that Gerald disappeared voluntarily, and his store was not robbed. Mitchell Hart admits that he doesn't know as much about Gerald's life as we had hoped. And then there's Terrence, who tends to get into some people's skin. Some people being Colin Ellison, who had his run-in with Terrence a few hours before the boy went missing.
Right. And still nothing on Jane Doe. Except the napkin.
I'll eat my hat if we find any leads on her this whole case.
Did you check the coordinates that she had written down?
It put us in a spot in Town Center Square. There's the statue of the founder, a trash can, a bench, a manhole, a street lamp, and some shops at the Southwest Plaza Shopping Center. We asked around some of the shops, but no one remembers anyone with her description.
Huh. Do you think she was looking for something?
A logbook and some trinkets? It just looks like geocaching to me.
Could be. But what I'm stuck on is that the three really don't have anything in common. A nice man who owns a bookstore, a troublemaking kid, and a woman who talks to nobody. Maybe this case is all coincidence after all.
It got us from day one. Carlisle's the one and only link between them. But where does that get us? It's not like it's a city with recurring crime hotspots to watch.
The town. That's a great point. Since Carlisle isn't exactly dangerous, I wonder if there's something else unusual about the town that links them. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. As I'm going around doing detective things, I'll try to learn more about Carlisle. Oh, and what you said earlier? I'm gonna hold you to that, by the way.
Hold me to what?
I'd very much like to see a hat get eaten. If I can get a lead on Jane Doe.
If that's what motivates you, it's a deal.
What, can't figure out the fridge now?
Unless it has an activation code, I've got it. Thanks. I'm Penelope, by the way. I'm only in town temporarily to help out the police with this case they're dealing with. I think we got off on the wrong foot.
Yeah, sorry for biting your head off the other day. One of those days, you know? But man, if I hear one more person talk about these disappearances, I'm gonna start bleeding from the ears.
No worries. I've got some tissues right here.
You're lucky. You caught me at a good time. I'd actually prefer talking to you right now than starting my 5th straight hour of schoolwork.
I'm flattered. What do you know about the disappearances? Have you heard anything interesting from people around town?
Interesting is a strong word. Kids around school either talk about this like it's bad reality TV or that there's some huge conspiracy involved. It's just bored people with overactive imaginations.
What kind of conspiracies?
Let's see. The most popular ones that come to mind have to do with aliens, the government, or cults. Standard conspiracy go-tos.
Cults?
Those people watch too many movies. They're like, maybe the 3 people were kidnapped by a cult to be human sacrifices to the forest gods. I bet these are the same people that believe in star signs.
Reality TV?
Soap opera would be a better word. I kid you not, that just yesterday, I passed a girl saying that she bet that Gerald and the woman were secret lovers, and that Terrence was actually their child, and that they were running away together, blah, 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 blah. Probably to somewhere cliche, too, like Mexico.
Ugh.
My thoughts exactly.
Do you think there could be any truth to these theories?
What do you think?
Does your apartment have framed eye patterns on the wall?
No. Does your apartment have framed eye patterns on the wall?
Yeah, they're literally attached, too.
Huh. This place never ceases to amaze.
Did you know any of the people personally? Or at least met any of them before?
Yes, I spend a lot of alone time with a 15-year-old boy. For real, though. I have met Gerald before, but that's it.
What do you remember about him?
Not much, except that he was nice. Got me a good deal on textbooks this year.
A chunk of ceiling almost fell on me while I was sleeping.
Congratulations, you've been initiated. My first thing happened when I was going to unplug something and ripped the entire outlet out of the wall instead. Could be worse, though. A guy who used to live here was washing his hands in the bathroom one time, and his entire sink fell off the wall.
I'll let you get back to your work. Thanks for talking.
Don't get used to it. Oh, my name is Stacy Leith. Just in case you need to know or something.
Any news?
Nothing yet. So it sounds like the woman who went missing the week Gerald did was a real book lover. Do you remember ever seeing anyone with her description come into the shop?
Oh, yeah. Thanks for reminding me. I was going to bring that up. She was actually kind of a regular. She'd come in once every few months or so. When I heard her description, it took a second, but then it hit me.
Interesting. When was the last time she was in here?
The last time I personally saw her was about 2 months ago. Although, that doesn't mean she hasn't been here since. Like I said before, this place can get pretty busy.
Did you ever notice what books she was buying?
I can't really see what the customers are buying from here. And she's never asked me to help her find anything, so no guesses there. The only association I'm making in my head is her carrying a book about... math? Or was it trees? No idea. Ignore me.
Do you think she and Gerald knew each other?
I doubt it. She was in and out pretty quick. They didn't really interact much at the counter unless I missed it.
Thanks for your help. This woman doesn't leave much of a trail behind her, does she?
Doesn't seem like it. I'll let you know if I can think of anything else about her.
I'd like to learn more about Carlisle. Do you have any suggestions for that?
I thought you were here to solve a case, not to sign up for generic American Towns 101.
You never know what could end up being useful.
If you're hell-bent on spending your time dusting off old records, Gerald likes to collect vintage local newspapers. That'd be the place to start. Here's the key to the back room of the shop. There's a table by the stairs that should have what you're looking for. Oh, and a word of warning. Newspapers aren't the only thing Gerald collects. If you don't watch your step back there, you'll end up with a twisted ankle.
Thanks. How long have you lived here in Carlisle?
Essentially my whole life. When I was a kid, we moved to the northern part of the state for my dad's job, but we were only there a year and then moved right back.
Has the town changed at all since you were young?
It sure felt like it got smaller as I grew up, but no, not really. Other cities nearby have expanded. Buildings replaced with taller buildings, but not here. All the expansion we got was a few new vape shops.
Thanks for talking.
Never a problem.
Huh. Huh. I need a coin. Condemned. Scheduled for demolition? Looks like it's missing batteries. That doesn't work. This must be Gerald's apartment. I found what I needed in the back. Thanks for the key. Gerald has quite the collection of objects.
That's what decades of travel souvenirs looks like. A room in need of a yard sale. Gerald described his stuff as a collection of memories. He said it was there for if he ever started to forget.
I bet everything back there has a good story behind it.
Maybe not everything. There's a lot of junk masquerading as something that could be useful someday.
Do you know anything about the spooky animatronic back there?
Only that it's Gerald's pride and joy. He'll tell you how he was at the big carnival blowout sale extravaganza and couldn't pass up an amazing deal. If you ask me, $300 is $300 too expensive for a broken carnival game.
What does he find so appealing about it?
The fact that we're talking about it right now, it's a conversation piece. And according to him, it has lots of fun prizes. As soon as he got it working, he kept nagging me to play it. He acted like you could win the secrets of the universe or something. I've never tried it.
The secrets of the universe, huh? If Gerald really thought it was so interesting, I should go check it out. Can you tell me more about Gerald's travels? It seems like he's really been around.
He was never clear on the timeline, but he would mention different countries here and there. I also wonder if he served when he was younger, which is one way to see the world.
Did he ever share any stories?
Here's one. While he was in Greece, he said he was walking down the street and suddenly gets hit on the forehead by a little pebble. Or so he thinks. He looks down and at his feet is a tooth. A human tooth!
Weird.
He finds out much later that in Greece it's a common tradition for kids to throw lost baby teeth onto rooftops. Why, nobody knows.
I'd pick the Tooth Fairy, personally. What book are you reading?
The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. Ever read it?
Yes, I read it a few years back.
Let me pick your brain then. The painter of Dorian's portrait, Basil Hallward. What would you say he represents?
Dorian's moral compass.
Yes, I completely agree. Especially because when Dorian kills Basil, it solidifies his descent into evil. Anyways, thanks for humoring me. It's hard to pass up an opportunity to talk literature.
Thanks for talking.
Never a problem.
Oh, it's you. Penelope, right? I wanted to apologize for how I acted before. I know he's just a kid. I was way out of line.
Apology accepted. I mean, I get that it's a lot easier to notice your mistakes in retrospect.
Oh, thank you. That's a huge weight off my chest. I usually prefer keeping the number of people who think I'm human garbage to a minimum.
You keeping count or something?
When I'm feeling especially confident, I like to think I'm in the single digits.
Do you have some time to answer a few questions?
I don't know. As you can see, this place is flooded with generous patrons requesting my attention and handing me money. But I'll probably be able to pencil you in.
What's your take on these 3 people disappearing?
Take? I don't really have one. I know it's the hot topic of the week, but I haven't really been following the story. I'd probably be more invested if I lived in Carlisle.
Oh, you don't live here?
I live in New Haven. Hop on I-95 and it's a 45-minute drive across the coastline. I get that some people are into small towns, but if I had to pick, I'd prefer to have a skyscraper or 2 around. For the vibe.
Why isn't your gallery closer to where you live?
The art gallery conducive warehouse market is kind of limited. But the drive isn't that bad. The GPS says 50 minutes, but with some expert driving techniques, I can get here in 35. 32 is my current record. Just remember, speed limit is only a suggestion as long as you don't get caught.
Uh-huh. Are you excited for your cameo in the next Driver's Ed crash video?
Rule 1, don't get caught. Rule 2, don't crash. Easy.
Describe your schedule this past week.
Mostly the same as always, except, the visit with the children from the Black Lagoon. Get up at 9-ish, drive over here, open at 10, hang around answering questions from visitors and talking shop with art dealers. At 6, close it all up, drive home. Go to some local place for dinner. Every day of the week I try to eat at a different restaurant. Anything but Mexican. I cannot handle spicy food. Then, meet up with friends, and we'll go to a bar or a club or something. If we're feeling tame, maybe chill at the beach or cliffs. If I get back to my apartment before 3 a.m., it's been a bad night.
Eating at a restaurant every day sounds expensive.
You think so? I've never really thought about it. All I know is that grocery shopping takes time and cooking takes effort. So, this works for me. And I like to support local businesses.
Wow, what a hero. Have you had any interactions with either of the other 2 missing people?
Who were the other ones again?
Gerald Cook, in his late 60s, white, owner of a bookshop on Main Street. And a woman that they don't have a name for yet, in her 40s, Asian Indian, seemed interested in history.
No, I don't think so. Although the description of the woman feels kind of familiar. Or not, that could match tons of people.
Well, if you have an epiphany at some point, let me know. Would it be okay if I looked around?
Sure, if you have any questions about any pieces in particular, just ask.
What happened to this painting?
When I opened up one morning a few weeks ago, it was gone.
Do you think it was stolen?
I guess. It was one of my best works. The thief has good taste.
What was it a painting of?
One of the cliffs overlooking the ocean not too far from here. I don't normally paint such concrete subjects, but it was a really nice spot. I hope the painting turns back up.
hinges. Not while Colin is here. I feel strangely violated. Have you been to the art gallery on Ocala Street?
Art gallery? There's a dentist's office on that street.
I'll take that as a no then. Thanks for talking.
Never a problem.
to deal with. Whew. Now, what do you want?
Did you know that this apartment was supposed to be demolished in the 60s?
Should I be surprised?
There was a big collapse, and a bunch of people were hurt. The city condemned the building, but I don't know what happened after that.
Bureaucracy at its finest. Building is falling apart, people are in danger. Just throw that demolition order in that big pile of paperwork over there, and maybe we'll get to it 70 years later.
I don't know. It's not like this is LA with thousands of buildings to keep track of. Seems hard to overlook. Do you know who owns this building? The city?
Who knows? But whoever it is really wants to fix the place up.
Yeah, I noticed the construction materials and fresh paint.
They're trying their darndest to get this turd polished. What I'm worried about is them classing this place up and right out of my price range. They already raised the rent last year. I have a love-hate kind of thing going on with living here. On one hand, it's a crumbling pile of mold, but on the other hand, it's so fun to complain about.
Do you have to live here?
Yes, I do. It's the only apartment I can afford close enough to school. Penelope, I'm going to guess you've never been homeless. This is luxury in comparison.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry to hear you went through that.
Don't be. It was brief and happened years ago. Keeps me motivated to finish my master's.
Well, if you ever need anything...
I'm fine now, drop it.
Where do you go to school?
The National Academy of What's It to You?
Ha ha. I'm just curious.
Typical. I go to North Oakford University. Go Redbuds! Yes, the school mascot is a tree.
What are you studying?
Engineering. Architectural. I have a bachelor's already, but getting a master's should really set my future up on the right path. It's a pretty intense program, but no pain, no gain, right?
Do you like it there?
I'm not there for the social scene or the extracurriculars, if that's what you're asking. I like that I can show up for classes, get some cash working part-time at the cafeteria, and leave. The sooner I get back here, the sooner I can get going on schoolwork and crying.
I respect the hustle.
Thanks.
Have you been to Novel Books?
Once or twice. I got a tip from someone at school to order textbooks through there, because the owner gets good deals.
Do you remember seeing a middle-aged guy with a prosthetic arm?
No. It was kind of crowded though, so who knows.
What was it like?
The deals? Great, actually. I didn't have to sign a contract to sell the rights to my firstborn child, unlike the school bookstore.
I meant the store.
Oh, it would have been nice if it was less crowded. Too many people there for my taste.
Can you describe in detail your interactions with Gerald Cook?
He was friendly, talkative. When he gave me my books, he seemed really curious about my schooling. He said if I ever wanted to talk more about it, let him know. I never really took him up on that.
Gerald really is a man of many interests.
Sure seems like it.
Have you ever been to the art gallery Bold Depictions?
No. I don't think I've ever set foot in an art gallery or museum in my entire life. Except maybe to use their bathroom.
Not really an art person?
I can appreciate talent as much as the next guy. But to me, most art just looks like tax evasion.
Have you ever heard of the name Colin Ellison?
Yeah, actually I think I have. Some businessman type guy, I think?
That's a generous way to put it. Do you remember anything else about the name?
I feel like I heard it on the news a few years ago. I can't remember any details.
You don't have a favorite style of art or anything?
You know what? I admire good design. I know it's not art exactly, but one of my professors describes design as a beautiful solution. I like seeing problems solved in a clever and pretty way. Which is exactly why my major is what it is.
If you have any sudden revelations about Mr. Ellison, let me know.
Oh, does somebody have a crush?
Thanks for making me throw up in my mouth. No, he's just a very suspicious individual at the moment. I did tell you I'm a detective, right?
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that. Probably because all I've seen you do is chat up your random neighbor. Hey, Penelope? Has anyone ever told you that you ask so many questions? It's insane, really.
Hello?
Hi, Mrs. Davies. I just wanted to check in. There have been a few things I've been wondering about.
Yes?
How has Terrence's mood been lately?
I don't know. Teenager-y. If it's going to be a good mood, happy kind of day, or an angsty, sulky kind of day, it's all a roll of the dice.
Well, what kind of things put him in a happy mood?
Oh, a lot of things. Good weather, a new video game, weekends, plans with friends, ice cream. One thing I'll always love about that boy is his ability to find joy in the little things.
How well do you know Terrence's friends? I mean, are there any in particular that seem like bad influences?
No, not most of them. A lot of them are really sweet kids, actually. Terrence's friend, Tyler, who he's known since they were practically toddlers, was even thoughtful enough to get me a birthday gift a couple months ago. But I do worry that Terrence will start to become bored with his old friends, the good kids, and seek out more excitement. When kids are little, life is simpler and they all share the same interests. Cars, planes, running in circles. But now a decade later, I see Tyler going off to compete in robotics competitions and Terrence not. I wonder for the future of their friendship. I don't know. I'm just going off on a tangent. Basically, none of his friends that I know would pressure him to do anything like this.
Thanks for talking, Mrs. Davies. We're working hard on the case.
You can call me Eileen. Let me know if you need anything.
Branham speaking.
Hi, John Branham? My name is Penelope Pendrick. I enjoyed your chapter on Carlisle in small towns of Connecticut.
Ah, Carlisle, the gift on the cliff, or the boar on the shore, depending on who you ask. I'm pleased to hear you found my text edifying, Miss Pendrick.
The creation of the Strawberry Festival was such a smart idea. It must have really helped lighten the mood during those tough times.
Indeed. One would never suspect that the festival stemmed from somewhat contentious roots. For decades, farmers would set up stands on the streets to sell their summer yield, but as the town expanded and the use of automobiles became more commonplace, many business owners became frustrated with the clogged streets hindering access to their shops. The businessmen appealed to city council to ban the farmers from the streets, and once the farmers caught wind, they fought back by setting up additional stands, some directly in front of shop doors. Difficult economic times made each side more vindictive until City Council came up with the idea of the Strawberry Festival, a designated time for farmers to sell their goods directly to the public. After peace was made between the two groups, they formed a symbiotic relationship, with the farmers selling to shops and shops selling the goods. And the townsfolk now had a yearly treat to look forward to during wartime.
You learn something new every day. Lately, I've been looking for some more background on Carlisle. Would you happen to have a few minutes to answer some of my questions?
But absolutely. Anything for an inquiring mind.
The part that stood out most to me in the chapter was about artist M.C. Escher. Is there anything more you can tell me about his time here?
I always find it amusing how few Carlisleans know about this fascinating tidbit of information. It's unclear if Escher worked on any pieces during that time, but it's unlikely due to his health.
Do you think Escher made an impact on the town?
Yes and no. Carlisle was merely an unintentional pass-through on his way to more important cities. There are newspapers from that time and region stating that he had to cancel his lectures and was laid up in the area, suggesting that there would have been enough public knowledge to cause interest and speculation among townsfolk. But as I mentioned, this knowledge faded out over the decades, so lasting impact, I would say not.
Do you know anything about the family that housed him while he was here?
I know that they must have been genuinely good-hearted people, because they certainly didn't take him in for the publicity. During my research for the chapter, I was hoping to find more on these elusive people, but newspapers and reports all describe Escher staying at an undisclosed location, out of respect for the family and to ensure he had a peaceful recovery.
It ended up being a dead end.
At the time, yes, but to be honest, I gave up the search quickly. While it would have been a nice little addition to the chapter, I had plenty to include as it was.
This might be asking too much, but is there a chance you could send me some of these newspapers you reference, so I could do a little of my own digging?
You know what? I'll do you one better. You must be busy, because most people are. So when I have some free time, I'll reopen the topic. I haven't had a date with a micro-fish for some time now. Talking about this subject has reawakened my curiosity.
Well, that would be amazing. Thank you, Mr. Branham.
I'm happy to help. And please, call me Branham. Mr. Branham was my father's name. Although, he's been dead for 10 years now, so I likely inherited the copyright.
What else do you know about Escher's life?
A warning in advance, this is a subject for which I only have approximate knowledge. Let's see. I know that he was born in the late 1800s in the Netherlands. I believe he studied architecture for a few years before switching to graphic design. Oh, here's a fun fact. Escher had no mathematical background whatsoever, but his artwork is so undeniably mathematical that it attracted the attention of Roger Penrose, a famed mathematician. You might have heard the name Penrose in regards to his work with the impossible triangle.
Is there anything else notable about Carlisle that isn't included in the chapter?
I could go into detail about the politics of the early settlements, but in terms of more recent history, it depends on what you consider notable.
Well, what do you consider notable?
Let's see. Here's one. In the 1970s, South Point Lighthouse, one of the older lighthouses in the U.S., was sabotaged. This caused quite a few boating accidents and a couple deaths. It was discovered that Greenpeace wannabes had painted the spotlight green to protest overfishing. If I recall, a few were successfully jailed for manslaughter.
Wow, that's crazy. Any more stories?
Here's a wild one. There was a mayor in the 80s who refused to make television appearances himself, was a bit camera shy. Instead, he had his dog sit in for him during TV interviews and would just speak over a speaker system. Mayor Rufus. Yeah.
And people say this town is boring. Are there any places around town that are notoriously dangerous?
You'd have better luck asking a local on that one. I don't live in the area, so I don't have anything to add in that department.
You don't live here? But you seem so knowledgeable.
Well, I don't live in Adolf Hitler's basement, yet I know a fair bit about World War II.
Got me there. I think that covers everything. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yes, and thank you for giving me the chance to listen to my own voice. Call me egocentric, but it is one of my guilty pleasures. When I track down this mystery family, I'll give you a call. Good luck on your research, Miss Pendrick.
Oh, one last thing. Do you remember receiving a phone call from someone named Gerald Cook?
Well, the name doesn't ring a bell.
Okay, thanks anyway. Talk to you later. just read?
Any news?
Nothing yet. Does this area have any legends or boogeymen?
Across the entirety of New England, you'll find people claiming to see puritanical ghosts or spirits of angry witches. We're not special. There was a guy around when I was a kid who would communicate with the early settlers. For a nickel. I wasn't allowed to talk to him.
Did Gerald ever mention artist M.C. Escher?
No? That's an odd question.
I saw some of Gerald's notes in a book about Carlyle that mentioned Escher, and he seemed intent on learning more.
Oh, he does that with everything. He's a naturally curious fellow. Don't read too much into any of the specifics.
Do you know Gerald's middle name?
I'm 95% sure it's Theodore. Is that all?
Thanks for talking.
Never a problem.
Carlisle Police. Sergeant Russell speaking.
Hi, Sergeant. I discovered something big.
What have you got?
Remember our resident child hater, Colin Ellison? I may have found a way into his gallery while he wasn't around and took a look through some of his things. I came across a series of fake obituaries written by Colin, describing the deaths of some of his critics. One of those critics being Gerald Cook.
Excellent work. I'm giving you a hypothetical slap on the wrist for entering private property. But I'm also giving you a hypothetical wink wink. Because if you're getting results, nobody needs to know. Can you tell me more about this obituary?
Colin took something Gerald said very personally and really lashed out in his writing. The thing that stood out most to me was Gerald's death date was marked as last month.
So Mr. Ellison had recent altercations with two of our victims now?
Yes. And since we're looking for proof of foul play, I found what looks to be a key card to an apartment.
Say no more. I'll search the database and see if I can locate his address.
Thanks, Sergeant. I'll keep it on the down low. Oh, one more thing. Can you also look up the names Michael Igo from New Haven and Juniper Bennett from New York City? Just to check that they're alive.
I'll add them to the list and give you a call back if I find anything out. Keep doing what you're doing, Penelope.